From their very first meeting in the Oval Office, even the body language suggested this wasn't going to be an easy relationship.
Viscerally, emotionally, they're so different. Netanyahu thrives on conflict. He seeks it out in relationships. And Obama avoids conflict.
U.S. President Barack Obama began his term looking like he was ready for a fight, issuing 2 demands of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu: acknowledge a 2-state solution as the basis for negotiations with the Palestinians, and stop illegal settlements. He got the first, but when settlements kept being built, Obama got very public in front of an Arab audience in Cairo and on the world stage at the United Nations.
We continue to emphasize that America does not accept the legitimacy of continued Israeli settlements.
Netanyahu then agreed not to a halt, but a pause, a 10-month moratorium on new settlements. And in the same year, there are reports Obama gave Israel what President George Bush would not: bunker buster bombs that would be needed for any strike on Iran. But by 2010, the administration believed this embrace of Israel was greeted by an embarrassing public slap, as 1,600 new settlements were announced during Vice President Joe Biden's visit there. The president was reportedly furious and sent that message by refusing to allow Netanyahu to be seen in the Oval Office at their next meeting.
Prime Minister Netanyahu remained in the White House and consulted with his staff in the Roosevelt Room, and then requested to see the president again.
The president had demanded concessions of Israel that were not met. The administration responded by giving Israel an additional $200 million for a defensive missile system, and eventually dropped their demand for a settlement freeze altogether. Short-lived peace talks ended as a result. The administration responded by blocking a UN resolution condemning the settlements that the president had spoken against. But Obama made another attempt.
We believe the borders of Israel and Palestine should be based on the 1967 lines with mutually agreed swaps.
And faced a very public rebuke in the Oval Office.
It cannot go back to the 1967 lines, because these lines are indefensible.
If the president seemed angry, his actions at the UN sent a different message, promising to veto a bid for Palestinian statehood. So now, as the 2 leaders get ready to sit down again in the Oval Office, the focus will be on Iran. The Israeli Prime Minister is expected to try and pressure the U.S. president over a potential military strike.
God bless Israel.
The power of the pro-Israeli government lobby will be on full display at the AIPAC convention when the president speaks again. But analysts say another pressure is sure to factor into this discussion: the American voter, and what an attack would mean at the gas pump.
I don't think that Americans even quite follow what's happening in the Middle East. All the details: there's Iran, there's Iraq, there's Syria, there's a mess. It's the Middle East to them. What they do understand is $10 at the gas pump.
Unacceptable.
So far, the administration hasn't changed its position. But given the history, many are wondering if the relationship will be any different when the talk is of war than it's been over peace.
Nuclear weapon.
Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.